still glows beneath my midnight sky. I write you in my notes, but never ask you why. The rain begins to tap softly on my window. A small desk lamp glows beside my notebook, painting the room in warm amber light. The pages are open, but my thoughts are somewhere else. I should be studying. Instead, I'm remembering you. The guitar keeps playing softly, like an old memory returning after a long time. I hold my pen and stare at the first page. There in the corner I once wrote your name. I never erased it. Your name still glows beneath my midnight sky. I write you in my notes, but never ask you why. Outside the city sleeps, the rain falls like tiny stars against the glass. I remember the nights when we sat together in the library, pretending to study while secretly watching each other smile. You borrowed my notes, I borrowed your courage. You laughed quietly. I remember every sound. The clock reaches midnight. I turn another page. Every sentence becomes another memory. I write about chemistry, but I remember your eyes. I write about history, but I remember our first conversation. I write about literature, but every story somehow becomes ours. The piano enters gently. The room suddenly feels smaller. I pull my sweater tighter and listen to the rain. Maybe love never truly disappears. Maybe it simply changes into memories that visit us on lonely nights. A soft falsetto hum rises with the music. I close my eyes. For 1 second it feels like you're sitting beside me again. Your name still glows beneath my midnight sky. I write you in my notes, but never ask you why. The rain becomes heavier, tiny drops race down the window. unfinished sentences. I smile, not because I stopped missing you, but because remembering you doesn't hurt the way it used to. The notebook in front of me is filled with homework, dreams, and crossed out words. I realized something. You were never just a chapter. You became part of the person I am still becoming. The Lofi drums enter softly. I continue writing. This time my handwriting feels lighter. The night no longer feels empty. The rain no longer sounds sad. Even the silence feels kind. I reach the final page. At the bottom, I write one last sentence. Some people leave, but their light remains. The clock shows 2:17 a.m. I close my notebook. Outside, the rain keeps falling. The guitar begins to fade. Moonlight touches the window, and somewhere between my homework and my memories, I finally breathe again. Your name still glows beneath my midnight sky. The rain keeps reading every line I hide. Your memory sits quietly by my side. The guitar begins softly. Rain touches the library windows like tiny fingertips. The room is almost empty. A yellow desk lamp glows over my books, and pages of unfinished homework are scattered around me. I should be concentrating. Instead, I'm thinking about the way you used to smile. I open my notebook. Between old notes and highlighted pages, I find a small drawing you once made beside my handwriting. I never noticed that I kept it. The rain becomes slightly heavier. The sound feels familiar. It sounds like those evenings when we studied together and shared one pair of earphones. You would explain difficult questions. I would pretend to understand just to hear your voice a little longer. The rain keeps reading every line I hide. Your memory sits quietly by my side. The piano enters gently. The clock shows 12:48 a.m. Outside, the world looks blurry through the rain-covered glass. Inside, every memory looks clear. I remember your sweater smelling like coffee. I remember your hands turning pages slowly. I remember the way you looked outside the window whenever it rained. I never told you how much I liked those quiet moments. Maybe some feelings grow silently, like rain filling a river. like moonlight entering a dark room, like love hiding between the chapters of a notebook. I underline a sentence in my homework, but my mind writes something else. Some people become part of your favorite memories without ever knowing it. A soft falsetto hum rises with the music. I close my eyes. For one moment, it feels like you're sitting across the table again. The rain keeps falling. The pages keep turning, and my heart keeps remembering. The rain keeps reading every line I hide. Your memory sits quietly by my side. The chill hop drums enter softly. I take a deep breath. Maybe I don't need to forget you. Maybe memories don't exist to make us sad. Maybe they exist to remind us that something beautiful once happened. The library lights begin to dim. The rain outside becomes softer. I finish my last page of homework. I close my notebook carefully. A small smile appears. The night doesn't feel lonely anymore, it feels peaceful. I place my pen down and listen to the final guitar notes. The rain is still there. Your memory is still there, but so is hope. I stand by the window. Tiny drops slide down the glass. The sky is dark yet strangely comforting. I whisper goodnight to the rain. And somewhere between homework, memories, and quiet pages, I finally let my heart rest. The rain keeps reading every line I hide. Your memory sits quietly by my side. My coffee turns cold while your shadow stays. I still hear your voice on these lonely days. Guitar begins softly. Rain slides down my apartment window like silver lines drawn across the night. A warm cup of coffee rests beside my notebook. Steam rises slowly. I wrap both hands around the mug, trying to hold on to its warmth. Outside, neon lights paint the wet streets in blue and purple. The city looks beautiful from far away, but tonight it feels a little empty. I open my notebook. The first page is blank, so is my heart. I should be writing tomorrow's assignment. Instead, I'm thinking about you. I remember how you used to bring me coffee during late study sessions. You always added too much sugar. I always pretended to complain secretly. I loved it. My coffee turns cold while your shadow stays. I still hear your voice on these lonely days. The rain grows heavier, the piano enters softly. I watch tiny drops race each other down the glass. It reminds me of us running toward dreams, believing nothing could change, yet somehow everything did. I look at my reflection in the window. I look older than I did last year. Maybe heartbreak does that. Maybe it teaches us things that happiness never can. I take a sip of coffee, it's already cold. I laugh quietly. Some things lose their warmth, some memories don't. I write a sentence in my notebook. Not every love story ends with goodbye. Some become lessons that stay forever. A soft falsetto hum fills the room. I close my eyes, I remember your laughter, your late night messages, the way your eyes became smaller when you smiled. For one moment, I miss everything. For another moment, I'm thankful it happened. My coffee turns cold while your shadow stays. I still hear your voice on these lonely days. The chill hop drums enter slowly, the rain begins to soften. The room suddenly feels lighter. Maybe healing doesn't happen all at once. Maybe it arrives quietly, like rain becoming mist, like midnight becoming dawn, like learning to smile at old memories instead of crying over them. I finish my assignment, I close my notebook. The coffee is completely cold now, but my heart feels warmer. I stand by the window, blue neon reflections shimmer on the wet street below. Cars pass like tiny stars, the rain is almost gone. I realize something, I don't need you to come back. I only need to keep moving forward, because the girl who once cried over lost love is slowly becoming someone stronger, someone softer, someone brave. I whisper goodnight to the city. The guitar begins to fade. A final drop of rain touches the glass. I smile, and somewhere between coffee, tears, and neon lights, I finally forgive the past. My coffee turns cold while your shadow stays. I still hear your voice on these lonely days. The last bus left, but my heart remained. Every empty street still speaks your name. Midnight paints the station blue and gray. Raindrops turn the pavement into silver rivers. Cold wind moves softly through sleeping trees. Streetlights bloom like lonely stars. A notebook rests beneath tired hands. Its pages carry unfinished shelter beside an open bag. Tiny drops gather along the station roof. Moonlight hides behind heavy clouds. The city breathes in slow motion. Cars pass like fading comets, leaving brief reflections on the wet road. The guitar trembles softly with the rain. The piano falls like scattered stars. A gentle drumbeat moves like footsteps, keeping time with a restless heart. Sleepless eyes search the empty lanes, finding only rain and shadows. Memories walk through every corner, wearing familiar smiles and forgotten seasons. The last bus left, but my heart remained. Every empty street still speaks your name. Books remain open beneath amber lights. Homework waits upon the final page. Yet every word becomes another photograph. Every sentence drifts toward yesterday. A soft wind carries the scent of rain, filling the night with quiet longing. Clouds move slowly above the station, as if the sky remembers everything. The streets shine beneath purple neon, their reflections stretching endlessly forward. Rain gathers around lonely benches, turning silence into music. The chill hop rhythm grows warmer. The bass moves gently like ocean waves. A hidden hope rises with the melody, like dawn waiting behind the horizon. Stars slowly return between the clouds. The rain becomes softer than before. Empty roads no longer seem endless. Their quiet glow feels almost kind. The final page turns beneath moonlight. A final note lingers in the air. The night remains beautiful in its sadness, and the darkness learns to breathe again. The last bus left, but my heart remained. Every empty street still speaks your name. The guitar fades in leaving only soft lights and peaceful memories. The stars above my notebook softly shine. I wonder if your midnight looks like mine. Rain gathers quietly upon my window. Moonlight rests upon my scattered pages. Coffee cup grows cold beside my hand. The city sleeps beneath silver clouds. Homework waits beneath an amber land. Yet every page becomes another memory. Every word falls softly toward your returning to forgotten gardens. The stars above my notebook softly shine. I wonder if your midnight looks like mine. The piano drifts like tears through the room. Its notes move slowly across the darkness. A lonely guitar trembles with the rain, carrying old feelings through the night. Streetlights bloom outside my window. Their reflections dance on wet pavement. The sky feels endless and beautifully sad, filled with stars too distant to reach. Pages turn beneath gentle fingertips, each chapter carrying pieces of yesterday. Blue ink becomes a river of memories, flowing through sleepless midnight hours. A soft bass enters like a heartbeat. The drums move slowly like falling rain. Dream strings rise beneath the melody, wrapping the night in quiet sorrow. The stars above my notebook softly shine. I wonder if your midnight looks like mine. Clouds drift across the silver moon. Shadows move gently across the walls. A photograph rests inside the notebook, pressed between lessons and unfinished dreams. The room grows softer with every note. The rain becomes warmer than tears. Memories no longer feel like storms. They shine softly like distant constellations. Electric guitar echoes through the darkness. Its sound carries a beautiful loneliness. The stars above the comes to an end, yet the night still glows with quiet hope. Moonlight paints the desk in silver light, and the rain begins to fade. The stars above my notebook softly shine. I wonder if your midnight looks like mine. The guitar gently disappears into silence. Piano notes drift like fallen stars. Rain becomes only a whisper in the distance, leaving the room wrapped in peaceful blue. The sky remains filled with tiny lights, and every star feels like a memory, resting softly above unfinished homework and beautiful dreams that still remember love. Lavender rain falls over my room tonight. I'm learning to heal beneath its gentle light. Lavender clouds drift across the midnight sky. Rain gathers softly upon my window. Moonlight rests beside an open notebook. Silver reflections cover scattered pages. Sleepless eyes wander through quiet memories, searching old chapters written in blue ink. A coffee cup cools beside an amber lamp. Its fading warmth mirrors forgotten summers. Lavender rain falls over my room tonight. I'm learning to heal beneath its gentle light. The piano moves slowly like distant waves, each note carrying pieces of yesterday. A lonely guitar echoes through the darkness, its melody filled with beautiful sorrow. Streetlights glow through rain-covered glass, the colors turning the room soft purple and gold. The sky hangs low above sleeping buildings, heavy with dreams and unfinished wishes. Pages turn beneath gentle fingertips, their corners holding silent memories. Every sentence becomes another photograph. Every photograph becomes another goodbye. The rain grows deeper with the melody. Tiny drops race down the window pane. Clouds drift over the hidden moon, and the night breathes in slow strings rise through the room, wrapping the silence in tender warmth. The stars slow return between the clouds, their pale light resting upon open pages. Old memories no longer feel like storms. They drift softly like leaves upon water. Electric guitar sings through the darkness, its notes filled with longing and peace. The rain begins to sound like comfort, wet rhythm steady and forgiving. The final page remains beneath moonlight, its emptiness carrying a gentle promise. The city sleeps beneath lavender skies, while midnight turns slowly toward dawn. Lavender rain falls over my room tonight. I'm learning to heal beneath its gentle light. The guitar fades into distant rain. The piano becomes softer than whispers. Moonlight settles across the wooden desk, turning the room silver and calm. Sleepless eyes finally begin to rest, the rain becoming lighter than memory. The night remains quiet and beautifully blue, holding both sadness and hope together. Lavender clouds continue across the sky, carrying old dreams beyond the horizon. A final note lingers within the darkness, then disappears into peaceful silence.